Whoa, hey, it's Fob here. Before we get into the breakfast episode, I want to take a quick second to tell you about our friends over at the Looters podcast. Looters is an actual play TTRPG show that uses the Stars Without Numbers system, and they have a really fun special coming up for Halloween. Take a listen. Here's the trailer.
This Halloween, the looters are facing their fears.
Now I have that fear. Now
Dude, I'm realizing I'm
Yeah.
scared of everything.
You just unlocked my new fear.
I live in a constant state of anxieties.
With Deanna Newval,
Spiders?
Melinda Macklem,
I feel like I say I'm fine with heights until I actually am up high.
and special guests Tina Wong-Lu
Wait, I'm scared of a head-on collision.
and Madeline Hours.
Episiotomies. I'm so sorry.
But these final girls are dead set on getting out alive.
Never separate from the group.
Don't go upstairs.
No camping.
Don't be a person of color. And just kidding. I can't avoid that.
Join us on October 24th and the 31st for the final girls. A horrifying 2-part special with Game Master Andrew Gaultland.
Boo.
Lock your doors, check your back seats, and tune in to the Looters feed wherever you get your podcasts.
Spooky! Go check them out at looterspodcast.com or find them wherever you get your podcasts. All right, on to the breakfast.
Hi, welcome to Dread and Breakfast! Breakfast edition. That's right, we're back with a vengeance. Wow!
Dread and Breakfast Soundboard Edition.
I've been working on refining my rock and roll scream, but I don't think it's there yet.
You're getting there.
I need to practice more, I think.
Jacob, how much fun are you having with that?
I hit both, apparently.
So the important things today is that, one, Jacob has a soundboard, so oh baby. And
Oh,
two...
boy. Also, I'm very healthy.
Oh, yeah, Jacob, the pinnacle.
Jacob's not the only one who's very healthy.
But the other important thing is we're all here for breakfast. What is breakfast? You may be asking. This is where we talk about the shit that we just did for your entertainment. So if you have not listened to all of our Camp Needlewood one-shot, there are lots of spoilers ahead. So maybe go back and do that. We'll still be here when you're done.
Breakfast takes a while. It's a buffet.
Ooh.
Welcome back.
That was really good.
Welcome. Joining us here in the breakfast room today is me. I'm Marissa.
I'm Christine. Wow!
I'm Fob.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Alicia. Wow.
Hey,
There's a fifth one.
also, just right out the gate, fucking phenomenal job, Alicia. Like, oh my.
Yes.
Like goofs aside, it was so good.
Yay.
You gave me so many nightmares in like the best way.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys letting me, come on and like try out my own thing with it.
Oh, hell
And
yeah.
I really appreciate it. It was a ton of fun.
I always like how every DM has a different style. And that's what I think makes this show very fun, is that like we do rotate around and you get those different styles. And so it was fun because like we're all kind of used to each other's style at this point. And so you came in completely new to us, although you've ran D&D for Marissa and Fob before.
Yes.
I've known Alicia for like 8 years.
Oh my God. I don't know how long, man.
Too long.
Anyway, it was delightful to play with fresh meat.
All right, calm down, Licky Lou.
Get him.
So Alicia, can you like tell us a little bit about like your background as a DM? Like how long have you been DMing, and is horror your genre of choice?
That's 100% your genre of choice.
Yeah, horror is definitely my bread and butter. I absolutely love DMing horror. I love playing games that have horror. I've played a couple different games than just D&D, including like Call of Cthulhu, City of Mist. I guess City of Mist isn't necessarily a horror one, but you can if you really try.
Can be horror if you try.
A little bit of Pathfinder, just a whole bunch of stuff. Actually, the first time I played Dread was with Marissa.
Oh my God.
Many years ago.
That was what was that? That was the like Aztec one I ran.
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
5 years ago or something silly.
But yeah, I've DM'd at least 2 full D&D campaigns that lasted about a year each. And then I'm currently in the process of one that's been going on for 2 or 3 years now.
Going strong.
That Marissa is a part of.
So good. It's so fun.
Is that the one you made a PowerPoint for?
Yes, it is. I did make
Yes.
a PowerPoint presentation to convince Alicia to let my character do some stupid shit.
Yeah, that one's all about the Lovecraft horror. Lots of
Ooh.
Lovecraft horror in that one.
So you said like horror is your bread and butter. Do you have a favorite horror movie?
I actually hate horror movies.
Oh, she prefers theater of the mind.
They
Okay.
scare me.
No, Alicia, I get that 100%.
I love horror books, horror comics, horror audio. You know, I love haunted houses, not like actual haunted houses, but like, you know, like ones that you
Wait,
tore through.
Would you not like an actual haunted house?
Probably not.
Okay.
How do you feel about haunted dolls?
Oh, no.
Or haunted dishes?
Extreme dislike for the dolls. Extreme dislike. I have a traumatic story with dolls.
Oh,
My grandmother was a hoarder, and one time I opened up a door and I got attacked by a bunch of dolls.
spilling out.
Wait,
Yes.
what?
Yes. In the middle of the night, I was trying to find the restroom.
Oh no! You're already like on
That's
edge.
amazing.
That's
I love
awful.
that. I mean, I hate that happened to you, but
Yeah.
No, I
Oh
mean,
my God,
I
that's
am
so good.
actually fine about this. Like, it's
Oh my
silly.
God.
But I don't like dolls.
Yeah, it's a good thing we're recording in Jacob's house where there is a haunted doll
Somewhere.
fucking somewhere.
As far as you know.
I don't tell me that.
Can I tell you something? I may or may not have obtained a creepy doll, TBD if it's haunted,
Why?
but it is musical.
Why? Where?
Oh,
Why?
I hate
I'm
that.
so happy about this.
I don't know if it's haunted.
Now I can't go over your house either.
you're still over at Jacob's house. I'll point
I
out.
was bribed with food.
You ordered the food.
I didn't want to point that out, but thank you, Christine. Alicia, do you have a favorite horror trope then? Or do you just like the genre as a whole? Or do you find like, are there things that you keep coming back to? And did you incorporate any of those into the Needlewood Dread that you ran?
Ooh.
See, so I would say when it comes to different types of horror, my favorite one does tend to lean more towards like the Lovecraft horror.
Okay.
Not because Lovecraft's a good writer.
Or,
Or person.
Yeah. But more just like the existential stuff I think is really, really interesting. I think kind of his description of horror being something cold and wet and unknown is very, very unique. And I know. See, it gave you chills.
It did.
I'm not entirely sure about like a certain trope per se, but I'd say when it comes to horror, Lovecraft's probably one of the big ones for me.
Well, Licky Lou's tongue was pretty wet.
Amazing.
He was a very good monster.
God
so
damn it.
Thank you.
Can you like walk us through like how did you like approach this like story and like creating it?
So I had 2 completely different ways you could go about the story.
Really?
Tell all.
There was a story that was focused on Licky Lou, which is that's the direction you guys ended up taking.
Yeah.
Also, side note, who named Licky Lou? Was that
Marissa.
Marissa? Marissa, you are 2 for 2 with the banger names
Was
for,
it me?
for
Alicia,
ghosts.
Alicia, if it has a dumb name, Marissa named it.
I don't know that.
If it has a name that makes the scary thing not scary,
It was
Mar-
Marissa.
it was
How
Marissa.
I cope.
But then I love that they become canonical. Anyway, go ahead, continue.
So like I said, there were 2 different stories basically that were combined, but I wanted to go based off what you and your characters wanted to do. I like having maybe a more fleshed out world, even if the characters don't always hit every single point.
For sure.
So there was one storyline that followed Licky Lou, and then there was another storyline that followed the ghosts.
Yeah. I was so curious about the ghosts because they were like patchy and like tell me more about that because it seemed very intentional what you were doing.
Yeah. So what was going on with the ghosts is basically they had been fading away from being so old and stuck there, and because of all of these ghost stories being told, they kind of splintered. So there were actually multiple of each of the ghosts.
Oh, interesting. Oh, so like when we met Aggro Wood's dad, that was the version of him that was like he killed his family in the woods. But there's
dad?
Yeah, the guy with the axe.
No, that's fine.
There was a chance that when you were in the woods, you could have ran into the little girl, which was not the little girl in the house, which actually was the aggro little girl that would have tried to kill people.
Yeah, I feel like we met just the aggro version of like most of the ghosts.
So then how does Licky Lou tie into like the lore of the camp?
He doesn't. Licky Lou eats ghosts.
Oh, so where does he come from?
He heard our story.
You don't know.
Where does he go? But where did he come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
I will not disclose that.
Alicia, we tell horror stories for like a gig, and now you've put a creature who might come eat us.
Babe.
If he was real.
If he was real and had physical form on this earth.
I don't know.
We could just decide to be afraid of everything.
To be fair, Marissa and Jacob did introduce like a fictional ghost that then Jacob made real and tangible, and it
Jacob
does haunt her.
purchased.
So I'm okay.
If you meet Licky Lou, can you let me know that I have a son?
I will. Like, wait, I know your mom.
Stop, wait, I know your mom. That's why you must die. She did this to me.
So yeah, there was one story with the ghosts where they had been splintered, they'd been fractured, and if you had wanted to save them before Licky Lou ate them,
Oops.
you would have to figure out how they actually died.
Oh.
Yeah, we did just kind of nope right out of there. Like
That's perfectly fine.
100%.
Like I said, there were two stories for a reason. It depended on what your characters wanted.
Oh, but how did they all die though?
Didn't the dad kill them?
Well, that's one story.
Or did the mom drown them?
Yeah.
And then the little girl
Or
did
did the
a bad
little
thing.
girl stab him with a knife?
Yo, I am so slow.
You're fine.
And that's why there was all that stuff in Lori's thing.
yeah.
That was kind of tied to it.
Oh, like the water quality stuff?
Wait, say more about that. Say more about that.
Do you want just the full story of what happened to the...
I mean,
That's the point of the breakfast.
always
Yes.
do.
So essentially what had happened to the ghosts is because this is Copper Creek, because of the mountains and stuff like that, there's actually underground tunnels.
Ooh.
The little girl fell and disappeared, and then the parents died from basically going crazy from the water.
Oh.
that's cool.
Wait, is that why groundskeeper Ted is the way he is? Was he just crazy from the water?
He's crazy from the war.
Yeah. So the camp has a separate pool so that you guys don't really...
Okay.
The only time you guys interact with the lake water is by like canoeing and kayaking.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, that's like really important to Scout's backstory. Oh no.
Oh no, Scout.
I mean, you can swim in the lake.
You'll be changed forever if you do, though.
Well, that explains her third arm.
Yeah.
Oh, of
Why
course.
didn't that come to play during the game?
But yeah, so if you had figured that out, you could have helped the ghosts move on instead of getting eaten. But they all got eaten, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, now I feel like an ass.
No.
I mean, to be fair, they would have killed you. Like, they would have tried to kill you.
Nom.
Like, the little girl in the house that got eaten, she was definitely going to try to kill you.
Wow.
Because the mom was hiding from her.
Okay,
Oh.
yes.
Yeah.
I was wondering
Oh.
if that's when she kept telling Lurch, hey, be quiet. And Lurch was like, hey there, ma'am. How can I help you?
Which then ties back to when he had the kid and was standing by the lake it's not because he was going to eat the kid. He was trying to use the kid to lure out the mom.
Oh, interesting. So Mikey was just bait that he was just carrying around.
He had no interest in actually killing or hurting any of you guys.
Oh, it did not seem
Well,
that
I mean,
way until the end.
Yep, he didn't care if you guys did get hurt, but he was trying to use you to get a hold of the ghosts.
Yeah, you did a really great job of not telegraphing that because I thought we were all going to get munched. And I guess
Same.
at
Yeah.
the end
Yeah.
he was
Well-
going to munch us, but
At the end, he was like actively pursuing us.
Yes, you guys shot him.
Yes.
we did.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
It was very good, and it was really funny to kind of like know what he was doing, and you guys are like, he's gonna come eat us, and I'm like, you aren't ghosts yet.
Oh, yikes. Has he, that's an interesting point. Has he done the loophole of if I kill them, then I can eat them?
If I kill them and they become a ghost.
Yeah.
He hasn't done it yet.
Yikes.
He hasn't figured that out yet.
But speaking of the ending, did you think we would handle it the way that we did? Or was
No.
that you didn't
Yep.
expect that?
Alicia, they never do.
Well, like I said, one of the
Yes.
endings I had set up was for you guys to figure out how they died and then like let them go that way. The other way I was expecting was for you guys to tell a story that would lure him somewhere else.
We thought about that.
You guys did.
We did. And then we were like, but then he'll just be someone else's problem and we got to stop
Finish
this.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really did like how you guys handled it, and I'm glad that you were able to have the big show off on the fire tower, which was really fun.
And it was so like 80s, like it was
Yes.
so of the moment.
Yes.
And like especially like we talked about this a little bit off mic, but like no one died.
Yeah, I was debating on that for a little while of like trying to figure out what felt right for it. And I think I really wanted the ending to feel, I'm trying to think of the right word to phrase this, like really celebratory, like really feeling like accomplished and satisfied. And I didn't think you guys would get that if Cube and Lurch died. Because I think that's one of the big things with an 80s movie is like the very end is like the high five clapping and like the, slow motion jump and everyone's all really happy. And then,
And then there's some final existential, oh no, it's not actually totally gone or dead.
yeah, but I knew to get that like that last celebratory part where you guys were like super happy and like really felt good about what you guys did. It really needed for everyone to have survived.
Yeah. Well, and that's a mechanic that I like about Dread is that if you knock over the tower, it's not that your character dies in that moment or dies at some point. They're just doomed and will be removed from the game. So like, I'm pretty sure the rules book, like the Dread book talks about like your character could be arrested and put in jail and then they're gone. So it's not necessarily death. It can be and often will. But it does have that flexibility that you can get creative in the narrative and like what you were doing, stick to a genre or come up with something that keeps things a little more open-ended.
I still think it would be fun to have one where everyone's a child and when the tower falls over, that's your parent calling you home for dinner or something.
That is cute.
Like something stupid like that, but you're
Or
still
like-
like removed from the game.
You're all pets at a pound and then you get
Get
adopted.
adopted. Oh, it's actually like a good thing. That's funny.
But yeah, I just want to underscore something that you said, Alicia, like the world was so fleshed out and like all of the NPCs were fucking baller. Well, we don't have to go through all of them, but like I am so curious about Lori's backstory. Like was she like a hippie
Yes.
drug lord prepper?
Drug
Like,
No,
lord.
she was not a drug lord.
Yeah, why was she a prepper? That's one thing. That's a question that I
because she
definitely
was
have.
in a cult.
say
Please
more.
tell more about that.
So the reason why she bought the camp is because at one point she lived on a commune in a cult
Oh my god.
that popped up during the 60s. Like there were like so many
Oh
that just
my
popped up during
God.
that time period.
Yeah.
She loved the commune living, but she got kicked out.
Why'd you
Why?
She's kind of annoying.
Not wrong.
Honestly, though, yeah, I get it. I get it, cult leader.
But that's why she got kicked out. She became like, how to phrase it, like dissatisfied with how the whole counterculture movement went and decided that she was done with the system and with people and she's going to just deal with kids instead.
and not pay her taxes.
Yeah, well,
or her utility bills.
And she was struggling. The camp was struggling.
Oh, we should have found a way to turn Licky Lou into some kind of attraction.
to save the camp.
Yeah.
Come see the 10-foot long wet scarf.
But also, tell me all of Ted the Groundkeeper's dark secrets, like horrible PTSD. One.
Yeah, horrible PTSD, so he hates people and likes to live alone.
You know what? Fair.
What's his relationship to Chef Larray?
His relationship to Chef Larray?
Yeah, like, do they get along?
They work together.
But do they get along?
I mean, probably.
Like,
are you shipping them?
Yes.
I'm
Yes, she
not
is.
shipping them. I just want Chef Larray to find love.
But I loved Chef Larray. Like,
Yeah, he's sweet. He was the one where if anyone had ended up doomed where like they couldn't continue, he was the one I was going to be most likely to bring back and be like, he came back.
Oh,
shit.
damn
That would have been fun.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say like they overheard some of your radio message.
Oh my
and he came back.
Oh.
All of the characters felt so profoundly real, and that I could spend an entire
Oh,
campaign
absolutely.
on any one of them. So like again, like
Oh, thank you.
fantastic job. The world was so cool, and even like the camp itself was fucking rad. Like that map that you made, I was
Yeah.
like, I want to go to all the places.
It was very fun because I grew up going to sleepaway camp for like years when I was younger. And the whole map and the way that you set everything up and the different amenities at the camp, like it just gave me so much deep nostalgia that I was just so delighted to be in this setting, even though it was terrifying. Something deep within me was like, ah, yes, I am in my comfort zone.
I'm glad.
Oh, one thing about the camp that I
Yes.
do want you to talk about, because I've heard the story and it's fucking bonkers. The inspiration for the cellar in the administration building. Can you just tell us about that real quick?
Sure. The cellar in the administration building that had all the prepper stuff in it was based off of my grandma's old basement.
Okay.
Which I stayed in her house after she moved out for a while. And it is one of the single-handedly most terrifying places ever in the world.
Fun.
So basically, I'll walk you through this. First off, there's no door to the basement.
Bad.
Just full open hole. So you go down these stairs and you get to the bottom and there's no light going down. The only light that you have is at the bottom of the steps.
Oh, okay.
Bad.
So you turn it on and there is a stream of water, like a little river of water
Oh, no.
that comes from the chimney all the way across the room and disappears into the wall.
Okay.
Bad.
Yep.
So you have to hop over it onto the broken tile.
Yep.
And while you're here, only one half of the room is illuminated.
The top half?
Yes. Basically, you have the light to your back.
Oh, bad.
And
bad.
you have to go to the other side of the room, walking over the broken tile as you hear the water running. And there's a long hallway that you can't see when you get to the bottom of the stairs. You do not see anything in the hallway.
So it appears from the ether.
It's so
Kind
bad.
of, especially when it's dark. So you get down there, you go to where the light switch is, you turn it on, and then you can see down the hallway because the flickering fluorescent hospital lights turn on. And you see a room at the other end of the hallway, which used to have a scarecrow in it. We got rid of that scarecrow.
As you do. Because you know of all those basement crows.
Yeah.
It was like right in the doorway.
Bad.
It was awful. So you approach down this hallway towards the door. So you have to walk to the scarecrow.
Pay your penance.
with coins over your eyes so that he doesn't.
It's kind of like you jump over the river Styx into hell, for sure.
You get there, and there's now another door to your left as you're facing the scarecrow. So you have to turn and put your back to the scarecrow
Yes.
to go into this other room. This other room It's all concrete in here. There is a little hanging bulb that you have to light by pulling a string. Mm-hmm. There is a chest full of unidentified meats, like a chest freezer full of unidentified, unlabeled meats.
Very good.
Beautiful.
Okay, Jeffrey.
There's another side room in this room that is a work area that just has benches all around with hooks hanging from the ceiling.
That's where he gets the bodies.
And a crawl space, which is just a hole.
Bad.
Like up near the ceiling area, just a hole cut out into the wall, which connects to the other hole for the crawl space, which is above the washer and dryer.
Oh, God.
Above, there's a little window above the old washer.
Damn, this is a labyrinth.
Yeah.
And the industrial dryer that my grandpa took from his old laundromat business that has a continual open flame.
Holy shit.
What?
It had a continual open flame and it blasted hot air.
Like a pilot light?
Like there is a hatch that I could open up and stick my hand in the fire.
Oh, you make s'mores. Yes.
With my flesh?
As one does.
You also could turn to your left and see where the stream came in and went into the sub pump.
Oh, good.
And so with your back to the door, you had to do all your laundry.
While the scarecrow watches?
Hopefully.
It's the scarecrow's clothes.
And then you had to obviously turn off the lights and put your back to everything as you tried to leave.
Bad.
That's
awful.
It was awful. It was terrifying. I watched Criminal Minds and then did laundry, and that was like one of the worst decisions of my life.
I feel like I would have just used a laundromat. Like, that's not worth it. I'll pay money.
Yeah, the dryer wasn't even that good.
But it's what? That's fucked up.
Dude, the dryer was from like I said, when my grandpa owned a laundromat business, which would have been, I mean, it probably closed in like the 80s, 90s.
Oh my God.
The flaming dryer.
Suddenly the admin building at Needlewood does not sound that bad.
I also should say that my grandparents did have a child that died there.
Oh, I don't remember that part of the story.
Yeah, William, that my brother's named after.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I had an Uncle William for a brief time before he passed away.
That's really sad. I'm sorry.
I didn't know him.
That's fair.
But anyway, that house is super haunted.
I mean, I believe it. Yeah.
that shit.
Like, you didn't get rid of the scarecrow. One day you went down and it just wasn't there anymore.
So
Oh,
my cousin was staying with me at the time.
Uh-huh.
So when I was leaving, like for work one day after we had talked about this, he left the scarecrow on the stairs and didn't tell me. And that single-handedly was the worst thing ever.
Oh my God. I would never have talked to him again.
Sounds like a great bit.
What you should have done is you should have taken it and you should have put it upstairs in the bathroom looking at you when you open the door, because that would have been so good.
No.
Or on the towel rack where you don't notice it until you're washing your hands and you glance in the mirror and you see something behind you.
Or just in the fridge where when you go to get a cool snack.
These are all real places that Jacob has hidden Shadow the doll. Thanks, Jacob. It's not scary at all. Fuck you.
Or placed provocatively upon your bed pillow. I think we did that to you, actually.
Yeah,
now that I think about that.
We did that to Jacob. Jacob put Shadow the doll in the fridge one day, and then Christine and I.
Listen, let me tell it. Listen. Once upon a time, we were having a sleepover. Oh, haha, fun. Jacob's like, here, why don't you go in the refrigerator and have a beverage? And I said, oh, thanks, Jacob. And I opened it, and there was Shadow hugging a fucking watermelon in the fridge.
It was a bowl of macerated strawberries.
It was still bad. So I screamed and closed the fridge. And then flash forward like 5 hours. Jacob and I went across the street to the grocery store to get stuff to make late night poutine. And we come back and I go to get a beverage and Shadow is gone and has been replaced by a miniature skeleton figurine.
I don't don't know what you're talking about. She just disintegrated.
She died in there. You left her in the
She couldn't
refrigerator for
breathe.
too long.
No.
She could. There's no air in there.
And then neither Christine and Fob wouldn't fucking tell me where you put her, so I lived in fear and had to sadly eat my late night poutine.
We didn't put her anywhere. She just.
I think that was what we put her on Jacob's bed, actually.
It was, and then I put her on the towel rack.
Yes, yep. So it's just a vicious cycle
of Marissa getting scared.
Basically.
Transition noise.
Oh, lovely.
I don't know what I was thinking about 2 seconds ago.
Who am I?
What am I? What is Dread?
What's
Who is
happening?
Breakfast?
Well, Dread is a podcast, this cool show we do. And we did a cool show in Needlewood
Hey!
with 96.9 The Wolf.
Oh.
It was so fun to be able to like do that in like a very meta way of like, oh my God, our characters are making a little radio show and like we make a little radio show. Because like in like your pitch to it, Alicia, you had laid out like, here is this terrifying lore of the camp. And then we got to kind of adapt and run with that in a radio show.
I think we came up with the idea that we were doing a radio show.
Oh, yeah, you guys did.
So we were brainstorming characters. And then I think initially we were planning on doing like some sort of a performance.
Oh, yeah.
That's where it started. We were planning on doing a performance of this scary thing because it was like the end of camp. Lori would not be on board with it. So we were like, what if we have this secret radio show that the older campers tune into after lights out?
Yes. Which like was so rewarding and fucking cool to have that woven into the story. Like,
Yeah, it was fun.
Yes, to see it turn around like that.
Yeah.
When it was not something that you had initially like planned for, I don't think.
Nope.
Amazing. Collaboration!
Yeah, it ended up working really well, especially with like Looky Loo and stuff, with like kind of fleshing out more of like why he was there and such. So
yeah.
but yeah, that turned out really, really nice.
Yeah. And it was just so like weirdly fulfilling and also like, wait a minute, I just like did a goof on myself by this thing that we did coming back to be bad for me.
Yeah.
It was so cool. And it was a lot of fun.
Speaking of lore, what was the lore behind everyone's camp name?
Mott's, I think we already did because my name was
It's William Appleby.
William Robert Appleby Jr. So like apples, he was allergic to apples, so they just called him Mott's, like the apple sauce and apple
Did I
juice.
come up with Mott's? I think
You
I,
did
like,
come up with
I threw it
Mott's,
in the
yes.
Slack and was like, ha, apples. And you were like, wait.
It's like, wait, this is perfect.
So that was delightful for
pretty
me
good.
that you ran with that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's better. I think that's better than mine. Mine was just, I can solve a Rubik's Cube very fast, which is definitely something that might have come up prior to me getting concussed.
That's
So
fair.
then
Ah.
wasn't solving them very quickly after
no.
that. So, yee.
Did you just have a cube in your pocket the whole time?
Oh, it's 100%. That's why it hurt so bad when I fell on my butt.
And then Lurch, what was the significance of Lurch?
It's a really great story. One time, Jacob, worked at a summer camp, and people called me that.
Aww.
And
you
then
know
I just
why?
recycled it because I look the way I do and am who I am.
But Scout?
Yeah, so Scout is a lifer at Camp Needlewood. She's been attending since she was very little, and she got her nickname her very first summer during a particularly tenuous game of Capture the Flag, where
Yes.
she snuck over to the other team's territory because she was so small. Nobody noticed her.
Baby
And so she was
Scout.
able to like overhear their plans, and they were like going to try and flank our team or whatever and steal the flag. So she like ran back and like told the leader of their team. And so they started calling her Little Scout.
Aww.
And then as she got older, it just became Scout.
When you
love
graduate from the
that.
camp, will you become Big Scout?
Maybe. Elder Scout.
Elder Scout.
Ancient Scout.
Eldritch Scout.
That's when you sprout your third arm.
yes.
I have to say, honestly, I loved how fleshed out your guys' characters were. Like, you could just feel like this entire, like, it felt like there was great stuff
Yeah.
like that you guys had already built in, and like, it just felt like really, really real. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think we've learned various strategies because the thing with Dread is they are such quick stories. You're not with your character for these long campaigns. So you have to learn how to dial into your character very quickly, as well as create your bonds with the other characters very quickly and understand those dynamics. So part of that is that we do at a certain point come together and talk about our characters together and collaborate on, well, how do I know you and how...
What's the relationship? Yeah.
But I also feel like we played characters that were pretty similar to our personalities, which definitely helps. Like, I don't think any of us really was playing anything that was a big stretch.
I don't know anything about math.
I was going to say Marissa's was a bit different.
Well, I mean, I feel like Mott's is on his shit with the math. You're on your shit with like sound design and story structure. And so like I see that sharpness in both of you.
Oh, that's very sweet. I appreciate that.
You're both nerds.
Yeah, we are.
I think we all are here.
Oh, I do.
Never.
I do have a brief segment.
Oh,
Jacob, Starwhite.
Before we. So this is a throwback to a bit that Jacob introduced way back in the Spectrophobia breakfast called Audible Visuals, where I show you a thing and you have to explain what it looks like to the listener.
Amazing.
So Jacob, I'm going to hand this to you.
Excellent.
amazing.
It's a green envelope. It says Jacob in cursive. I know that only from experience of having seen my name and having to know it's my name enough. I can't really read cursive, but I've had to pick my name out of a lineup enough that I've learned to assume that this is it.
I'm going to use this knowledge against you because I'm really good at cursive.
Ooh.
Congratulations.
You now know a secret language. Jacob doesn't.
It's green.
You can open it. I encourage you to do so.
Why would I do that?
Because then you haven't described it fully. Well, how are you going to describe the
inside
interior?
of it are secrets.
Open it.
that we'll never
Yes,
know.
and open it. Wait, get that Foley of the letter
I
open.
only have the two heads.
I will come assist.
Yeah, tear it open.
Okay, here we go. It's a green envelope with Jacob written on it in cursive. It's torn open at the top very poorly.
What about the inside?
Reach in there, friend.
It's a reverse.
It's an
card.
Uno reverse card, bitch, because I brought a haunted doll today.
Yay! I love haunted dolls.
Let me bring her out.
Oh my God! Is it character growth? I think it's character growth in front of our eyes.
No, Marissa's still afraid of Shadow.
I'm very afraid to touch this doll.
It has
I'm
hair
okay with it.
Here
and
you
a
go. So the story behind her is once upon a time we did a really fun Camp Needlewood recording, and you brought a fucking doll into it, and I'm afraid of them, and it was like, haha, so fun. And Alicia made a comment, and you're like, oh yeah, I have that doll. And then 2 weeks pass, and we get together to celebrate my birthday. We had a delicious tea party. Alicia made some banging, like, roasted vegetable sandwiches that I still think about. And to celebrate my 29 years on this earth, she said, here is a gift. And I said, oh, thanks. You really shouldn't have. And then I opened it, and it was that doll.
She really
Really shouldn't have. So go on, Jacob. Open her up.
Okay.
She's so scary.
Oh my God!
So it's like if a ball of hair had a wedding dress on. Underneath the hair is
Look at her
a
eyes.
very serious blue-eyed little blonde girl just staring directly into your soul. Big puffy white dress. I'm sorry, my friend Hope, who works in the bridal industry, would be mad at me for explaining it only as this. This is all I see is white dress and poofy.
Does it have lace or beading or pearls?
It appears to be lace, and there's a flower on it there, and
has a bouquet.
some ribbons and a veil.
She's horrifying.
That is also the doll that I described in the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jacob, you get to keep her now. She's yours.
That's great. Do you think she would like a friend?
No.
Not
What's
to
her
be out
name?
here right now.
I don't don't know, Alicia, where'd you find this doll?
This was one of the dolls that attacked me that I talked about.
Oh God,
Oh,
really? Why do you still have it?
because it followed her home.
Honestly, I have no idea.
Oh,
I just keep finding it in my closets,
Oh my
even though I think I threw it out.
What?
Oh my God.
So what is their name though?
I've never named it. I think that would give it too much power.
Shadow 2.
No.
Electric Boogaloo.
The Bride of Shadow.
No. Well, anyway, Jacob, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're adopted. No, you are adopting.
A second one. Jacob, you're
Yay.
a parent twice
Family is
over.
It's a
Growing.
collection now.
Yay! Yeah, Jacob, it's not just one creepy doll you have. Now you have a collection.
Now it's
Hooray.
like a bigger explanation whenever someone new comes over your home.
Now I'm in my head, I'm like cutting ahead like 35 years from now when like your progeny of some sort will open a door and your doll collection will fall upon them.
The cycle continues. They'll never be able to escape.
And what are we doing here if not leaving a legacy of terrible things for the future? Thanks so much for
Amen.
listening to...
Wait. I have a bit.
Oh!
It's time for things Christine cut out of the podcast and wanted to make sure got shared anyway.
Whoa.
'Cause I did the roughs for this one. Yay!
You're stealing my bit because I'm slacking off.
You're not
No.
slacking off. You
I'm-
just went on tour. It's all
that's
good.
fine.
I feel like we just play this and we just go for it because I have no explanation.
Okay. Give me 5 pulls.
Go for it.
I mean,
yeah,
go
go
for
for it.
it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep pulling till I get into the shed, basically.
A big swing and off goes the lock. Pop into the ether. What lock? I don't know. Now we will unveil the mysteries of the shed. What could be inside? Maybe a chainsaw. Maybe a lathe. Maybe a snow cone bar.
Maybe a Gatling
Maybe
gun.
a gigantic hula hoop that spins around.
You open it up and it's just a murder
Hey,
shed.
Murder Shed might have
A
anti-ghost
bubble
tools.
machine. Gigantic
Alicia.
bubbles
Yeah.
come out when the door opens.
I see.
Lots of
this
music.
happening.
Look, it is an elephant.
I mean,
of normal size because
if you're
anything
watching
can
him,
be
yeah.
within the
Okay.
shed.
I'm gonna get like salt.
Look over there. It's
and-
a record player and an entire record
You're getting what?
of all of Smokey Robinson's
wait.
greatest
It's almost
hits.
like it's really hard to hear for some reason.
Yeah, I
Ted,
don't know why.
is the door open yet?
I'm still trying to hear Fob.
You know, you can mute me.
I do sometimes.
Genuine laughter.
Welcome back to the end of the episode.
I don't like the skip
Okay,
in
we
that
can do
one.
this one now.
Dread and Breakfast has been brought to you by viewers like you.
But legitimately, though, thank you so much for listening. Alicia, thank you so fucking much. This was incredible.
Yay.
Thank you
Holy
guys.
shit.
Do you have any like projects or like things you want to plug?
No.
Fair enough.
Great.
You know what? That makes it easier.
Cool. Moving on.
Find Alicia if you can.
If you dare.
Well, thank you, Alicia, for running for us. That was really, really fun.
Oh, thank you.
Now goodbye forever.
Now everyone.
Yes, I will
Wait.
return to the ether.
Oh, no. Oh,
there she
Bye,
goes.
Alicia. Oh, no.
But you know who isn't disappearing?
It's this podcast.
We're coming back, baby!
with a vengeance.
I don't know which button to push for
Wait.
that one.
Push the rock one again.
Which
We're coming back, baby, with
Yeah, that's
season
not bad.
2. Some of the pieces of this season have been, I think, 3 years in the making or more by the time they are published. It's rad, y'all. I'm so stoked.
We're all very, very, very excited, and it is.
It is.
and it will be.
Promises, vague threats.
Ooh.
In the meantime, have a great day and
Have a scary life.
that what I said?
Have a lovely day. We love you. You matter, and you're important.
Oh,
Take
yeah.
care.
Go out in the woods.
Go out
Stand
Go
there.
out in the
Hey,
woods.
everybody, go out in the woods and hammock. Bye.
Go find a tongue. Bye.
That was the one.
Go out and find the tongue.
This episode of Dread and Breakfast brought to you by...
Brought to you by tongues.
Oh.
This episode of Dread and Breakfast
God.
brought to you by
All
tongues. And I'm back. Did you miss me? Thanks so much for listening to Dread and Breakfast. We'd like to give one final thank you to Alicia for running our Camp Needlewood story. It's great, she's great, and you know what, dear listener? You're great too. We'd also like to thank Eli Schneider for composing our breakfast theme. A full list of sound credits is available on our website, dnbpod.com. You can also find more of our stuff and maybe a secret or two on our various social media. If you enjoy the show, it would be awesome and super helpful if you could spread the word. Tell a friend. Leave a cryptic review, scrawl something ominously intriguing on a public wall. It really does help grow the show, and oh boy, do we have big things planned. We are all hard at work getting ready for the launch of Season 2. We really appreciate your patience with us, and we can promise you it's gonna be worth the wait. Keep an eye on the podcast feed and our social media for updates. But in the meantime, we'll just keep spinning our web. See you all dreadfully soon.
This story